To welcome you to tonight's programme, I'm delighted to introduce to you the Secretary-General of the Muslim Council of Britain. Now, as I introduce to you all of the speakers for this evening, their biographies just go on for pages and pages, and you will thank me for not listing every single accolade. So what I'm going to do is give you a flavour of the achievements of these individuals as we go through, and hopefully you'll have a chance to talk to them during the breaks. Now, our Secretary-General is a physicist and educationalist by training. He works as a science teacher and special education needs specialist in London. That's a tongue twister. He's a board member of the London Organising Committee of the Olympic Games and the Paralympic Games, which, of course, we're all looking forward to in 2012. He is also the author of books about parenting, family, and identity, and it is my privilege to introduce to you Dr. Muhammad Abdul Bari, the Secretary-General of the Muslim Council of Britain.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. My lords, your excellencies, brothers, sisters, I greet you with the Islamic message of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah and good evening. I would like to thank our guests for joining us tonight. The Secretaries of State, Right Honourable Jackie Straw MP, Right Honourable John Denham MP, and hopefully the leader of the Lib Dem Party, Nick Clegg MP, will be joining us. He will probably be just after 8. I have received letters of apology from both the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition. Both wish it to be a successful event. We welcome our parliamentarians, ministers, and other distinguished guests from our civil society partners and the Muslim community. We are, of course, disappointed that the Conservative Party chose not to be represented here, but if they do wish to engage with the community, they will always be welcome. I also want to thank our lead sponsors, Muslim Aid, Islamic Relief. We are proud to have them as affiliates of the MCB, and our community is fortunate to have these leading British charities do such good works to alleviate the poverty of all people from all faiths and none. I also want to thank our guest speaker, hopefully he'll be joining us inshallah, Professor Tariq Ramadan, who was last week named by the New Statesman as one of the 10 most influential modern Islamic intellectuals. Thank you all. We are here tonight to celebrate the contribution Britain's Muslim communities have made to the cultural, political, and economic life of Britain. But we are also here to take on the challenges that will face our community in the years to come. Although there has been a Muslim presence in Britain for centuries, Shalina has just mentioned some of the aspects. It's only in the last 50 years that a sizable community has grown up. The largest Muslim communities in Britain hail from South Asia, but among us tonight are people from dozens of nations, speaking many different languages and representing the full diversity of Islamic traditions, philosophies, and approaches. Among them, of course, there are those of British descent who have found solace in the faith of Islam. When the MCB was formally established in 1997, it was with the aim of encompassing that diversity and helping to meet the needs of newly arrived communities as they strove to fully take part in British society, as well as to promote understanding and good relations between Muslims and others. Over the years, we tried to build on what is good for all of us: ethical finance, tackling religious discrimination, providing spiritual care in hospitals and prisons, just to name a few. 13 years on, the landscape in which we operate has entirely changed, as events like 9/11, the war on terror, and the London bombings have resulted in a dramatic shift in the way Muslims are perceived and dealt with by mainstream society. Once, Muslim communities were seen primarily through the lenses of poverty and deprivation. Increasingly, we are only seen through the lens of security. Neither of these narrow views does justice to our diversity, or to what we have contributed, or to what we will contribute in the future. Nor does it recognize the speed with which our communities are changing the way they think of themselves. As increasing number of people from diverse backgrounds come to self-identify not with the country of their parents or grandparents come from, but with the country that is their home and the faith that is at their core. As a community and as an organization, we have in the past been accused of playing identity politics, of drawing lines where they do not exist, and speaking to separate Muslims from the rest of society. Nothing could be further from the truth. Our aim when we were founded was to increase the extent of Muslims' participation in mainstream society. And our challenge today is to create the space in which a new British Muslim identity can be articulated. But creating that space is no easy task when some sections of the media, politicians, and commentators seem intent on reductionist, even Manichaean approaches that recast multi-dimensional relationships between faith, patriotism, identity, and politics as a simple choice that says you are either with us or against us, either British or Muslim, and never the twain shall meet.